back. I've got Jeff Parker here, fresh off the weekend, and it was kind of a gloomy weekend. I hope you had plenty of things to do.
Well, on Saturday we got to finish up on our last clinic, at least the last clinic for the first shot, and then we'll follow up with those people for their second shot. But that was our last clinic, and again, we're able to recognize Memorial Care and some of our staff for the great efforts that they've done, and their volunteers and our volunteers, and that was a nice event. So pull that off and conclude that with our last vaccination clinic.
So how many shots did you administer on Saturday?
Well, that's a good question. I don't have
hundreds, of course.
Yeah, right, over a couple hundred, I know for sure, and it was good to know that that number kept getting lower and lower over the last 3 or 4 weeks. So that's really good. So people are out there getting their shots at all the different places that you've brought up on TV6, and our clinic. We're doing really well as far as compared to everybody else out there.
Well, some of the numbers that were expressed on Saturday, something like over 18,000 shots were given here in the village alone. Easily. I mean, of course, that's first and second shots, but nonetheless, that's shots in arms. That's a lot.
And it was easily over that number, because we know that we did precisely, without talking about people that we went to their homes on, that we did over 9,000 here at the. So we accomplished a great deal.
Absolutely. Well, that was a nice event for the volunteers on Saturday, and I'm sure they greatly appreciated it. So they all seemed very lovely people, and they were all giving and were very modest. So it was nice. Good. So speaking of our COVID-19 numbers aren't really moving much.
No, and I would say that's probably good news. I don't want to, obviously we'd like to see it going down all the time, but 69 cases, 10,000 tests, that's really close to what we saw last week. And again, the hospitalizations at 113 and 25 are staying real consistent with what they've been for the last couple of weeks. Did unfortunately have 9 people in Orange County that passed away due to COVID. Again, some of those numbers are not just that one day, they're cumulative over a week's period of time, if not more. But still, it's unfortunate that the family members are having to go through that. So it's still with us, folks, and I want to say that we still need to be cautious. We still need to wear our mask and social distance as best we can, and then get our shots. All of that's going to contribute to us being in better shape. Right. Our Laguna Woods number for the city of Laguna Woods stayed at 411, so there's no change there. So again, positive news that we're steady and we're moving in the right direction.
Right, and I believe that you mentioned on Friday that we should hear some additional information from the governor, possibly the CDC and our Orange County Health Department tomorrow, correct?
Yeah, I think what they're going to do is every Tuesday and possibly twice a week, they're going to give updates as to how counties are moving towards the next tier. And in our case, if you can see these numbers, we're in the moderate tier with regards to cases per 100,000, but we've already achieved minimal tier 4, which is we used to call the yellow tier, in the test positive rate and also in the health quartile. So those are really good numbers. If we can get that 2.8, which was at 3, so that little gradual shift. If next time we talk it's 2.5, we're going in the right direction. Right. And the sooner we can get to 2 and then jump into that next year, then we can expand our recreational activities out there as to the numbers of people that can participate.
Well, and then of course that even though that number is at 2.8, it's very possible that the governor and the CDC could move things a little further along. It really is up to them, though, not necessarily. It's not up to us.
It's not up to us, and it really is being focused on hospitalizations and vaccinations now.
Oh, okay.
Those are the 2 critical areas. And boy, Orange County is opening another clinic today. So the more people get vaccinated, the more we're going to get closer to what they call herd immunity, and that's going to allow the state to reopen faster.
And you know what? I really think that, this is, of course, just a personal opinion, but I really think that the governor should take a really good look at Orange County. The last number I heard was 2 million people have been vaccinated in Orange County, and we only have 3.2 million. So we're looking at pretty good. Yeah, so we should be wide open, according to us. But
definitely
as much as we all want that to happen, it can't. But yeah, we're in good shape as a county. So
awesome.
Yay for us.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, so what else do you have? So speaking of things that are opening, I mean, you're certainly trying as much as we can.
Right, I want to mention a couple of things. So our library, which has been operating outside, we had that outside patio.
And she's been doing
area,
such a good job.
and which is wonderful that we were able to. The volunteers were able to continue to do that, and they just did fantastic job out there. So I want to thank all the volunteers with regards to that. But the library is actually going to reopen on May 3rd.
Okay.
So that's really good news, and they'll be able to go inside and check out books and DVDs and any items, newspaper items. The only thing that won't, and I'll get into the numbers here in a second, the only thing that will remain closed is the reading room or the puzzle room, so because of social distancing.
Sure.
But the fact that we can get, and we can handle up to 15 people at a time in there, along with our volunteers that'll be there. We've been able to acquire and put in place plexiglass so that the volunteers are protected. Still be requiring people to wear masks going into the facility. Sure. But the reality is that come May 3rd, Monday through Friday, they're going to be open from 11 to 3, and then on Saturday, 11 to 1.
Right.
Those hours are pretty standard, but it's all driven by, are we going to have the volunteers?
Okay.
This is a volunteer-driven facility. So we'll work with those hours, but we'll work with all of our volunteers. So if we have to give notice that we're not going to be open on Saturday because we don't have a volunteer group, that may be the case. We hope not, but we're excited about getting that open.
That's great. We talked to the library folks a couple weeks ago, and they definitely are on it. They've got that great online system where you can rent things and check them in, check them out type thing. So yay for them. I mean, they've already done a really good job for the whole year not being open.
Absolutely.
So now it's just a matter of, hey, you can see people, which is nice.
Yeah. A couple other things I wanted to mention. In our swim program out there with pools 4 and 6, we had restrictions on individuals could go there, obviously, but we had restrictions with regards to multiple people, especially when they weren't in the same families. But now if you have a friend and you want to go swimming, and we have a lot of those people that are single, but they know a close friend, they go swimming with them. That can be done at pool 4 and pool 6, part of the reservation program. Again, we can't do 3 because of the distancing, the requirements of the state, but if there's 2 of you, you can go swimming together. So that's a new program that's available now, and so you can go on ActiveNet. Did want to mention ActiveNet real quickly. That's the recreation program, the online system that we're doing. Again, I encourage people to go on our village website, and they can then go right into recreation and then into ActiveNet. Get registered. Once you're registered, you can go straight to ActiveNet and use that program.
Right.
And the last thing I wanted to mention was, again, we've talked about it a few times. We're moving forward into this new telephone system where people are going to have to use all 10 digits and use that 949 first when they're calling in that 949 area code, which means here. I'm calling the numbers here at the village. You'll have to dial that 949. That starts this week and then rolls out all the way through October. It's a lot of it has to do with your carrier, but with regards to our operation here, people need to start thinking about that. So if you call a number, get a disconnected or no longer in session or one of those kind of phone messages, just call back using the full area code.
All right, yeah, we're have to get used to that, so that's going to be, so start now, so by the time it gets cut off, you won't be surprised.
Yeah, so this week you can start using it, and so that'll be good for people to get used to that.
All right, excellent. Well, thank you for the information, and hopefully you'll have additional good news on Friday.
We'll see. I hope so.
All right,
Definitely.
thank you. And remember that ActiveNet is going to be actively used for you to be able to do reservations, and that is located on the village website under amenities and recreation, and you can scroll down and just click on ActiveNet, and you can also see a tutorial that will teach you how to do it. We'll be right back.